Okay, so lip sync is the apparent synchronization of what the character is saying and what we are seeing. It's not that we are matching every single mouth shape that we hear with the animation itself. It's not that we are trying to be very, very precise. It's just the apparent synchronization. That means that sometimes we hit some vowels or we hit some mouth shapes and sometimes we don't. The thing is that we have to get that feeling that the character is actually saying that. By doing so, we're definitely giving the final impression that the character is actually alive, right? So that's why the first step, what we've done, is to get the accents, because by really doing a good job, or by really nailing the timing and the mouth shape of the accents, we basically have almost most of the job done of the lip sync, because the accents, since they are the most sounded or the most important parts of the dialogue, if they really work very well, we're already giving that impression that everything is where it has to be, and we already have the impression, or give the impression, that the character is actually saying that. So by doing lip sync, let's say, it's like just filling the gaps, filling those parts that we didn't do before. Okay, so when we work with lip sync, we're going to be working with three main things. One is to match the mouth shape with what is already being pronounced. Like the actual sound of what we hear does match with what we see in our pose. Two, we have to match that pose itself with the right timing. We have to sync it and be very precise. Just a couple of frames off, even one or two, they're gonna make it look weird. Sometimes we can do like a very good job on the mouth shapes, but if they are not in the right frame, and I mean like in the right frame, it feels like we've done something wrong, right? When it's very interesting how sometimes we just get like all those mouth shapes that maybe are off sync, and we maybe just bring it back one frame and magically everything feels like it's working. So this is very important. Another very important aspect is that whatever the mouth shape that we are doing has to be in the right emotion, because sometimes it's not the same doing a O that is smiling with happy emotion than a O that is angry. Oh, right? And that's most of the time is just by working the corners of the mouth. There are some other parts that play into that. We're gonna see that, or overall you're gonna see in the shot. But those are the three things that we have to consider when working a lip sync. So something that you have to consider when you are doing lip sync, again, is retiming. Usually when we do lip sync, everything is falling into the right place. When we do a very good lip sync, usually the lip sync, or what is happening in the face and in the mouth in this case, used to be connected with what is happening in the body. So after doing this pass of lip sync, don't be afraid to have a look to how is the overall body shapes and all the overall body movement, and see that everything is good. So after doing a body or a good lip sync pass, I recommend you that you also do check with the timing. Though after being working on accents, that's why we do accents, everything should be in place, but you never know. So as you can see in all the process, every time that we've done some work and we created some new poses, whatever part of the stage is, we always check the timing. Okay, we pose, we check the timing, we pose, check timing, pose timing, pose timing. That's from the very beginning what we've been talking about. So the process of doing lip sync can be a little boring because it has to be a little rigid. In the next class, we're going to be talking about the main workflow. How this is mainly, or the way I do it at least, is through 2 steps. But because it's a process, a repetitive process of checking the audio, then doing the motion, then doing then checking the timing. It can be a little bit repetitive, but it's very important that you follow that process, because, as I was saying, this is the final step to really find that integration of what we hear with what we see. So I really recommend you that you stay to this process, or you you stick to the plan, you stick to the workflow, because otherwise a very bad lip sync can really take the audience off. It's not really gonna help the audience to connect with whatever they are seeing. So try to make this process as fun as possible. Try to also get creative, but it's important that in this part of the process you also stick to a very, let's say, rigid or methodic system for doing a right timing or a right lip sync.